So now let's talk about the task force belt. The task force belt has the same construction material-wise as the Shudo belt. The only difference between the task force belts and the Shudo belt is the reinforced Alpine belt buckle with integrated D-ring. The task force Alpine belt buckle is a reinforced system that has an integrated D-ring. On our task force belt, we reinforce the D-ring with a D-ring retention strap. Like the Shudo belt or the Sanji belt, the task force belt also comes with a 2-inch inner belt. Same as the Shudo belt, it comes with a 2-inch inner belt that has loop that lines all on the outside of the inner belt. Like the Shudo belt and the Sanji belt, the task force belt comes with a 2-inch inner belt. This 2-inch inner belt is a minimalistic belt that's very comfortable and allows loops to be ran all on the outside of the inner belt. So in order for you to have an inner belt that works with a commercial type of pants, we also sell a 1.5-inch inner belt. We call that the Rue belt. The Rue belt is a totally separate belt because it has piles lined on the inside of the belt. So here is 1.5-inch inner belt. We call that the Rue belt that you can buy separately that will work with all civilian and commercial type of pants. The load-bearing belt or outer belt has on the inside lined with hook Velcro. So this binds with the inner belt. The platform would never move on the shooter. Our Ronin belts were thought out operationally based off on our experience on the battlefield. We know what we need on the battlefield, as in the belt cannot move on the shooter. We apply the proper bar tacks, stiffeners, double tacks in order to make this belt proficient on the battlefield. Like the Shudo belt, the Cobra belt buckle with integrated D-ring has the same release mechanism. Double pressure on both sides releases the belt buckle itself. If you apply only pressure on one side, the belt buckle will still hold in place. Once this belt buckle locks in, it's almost impossible to move this belt out of place. With the stiffeners and the weave specialized material, it will bind this material in place, never moving the belt out of its locked position. It's very tight. This is a very rigid belt. We utilize a special weave material and certain stiffeners in certain places to make this belt extremely rigid. What I found during my operational years is that you want the belt to become rigid, very much like a competition shooter. The pile system is very rigid. That means it's very tight along with all the stitching that's in place. So in order for you to weave things through with a MOLLE system, you would have to invert the belt backwards and it will release the pile systems for you to weave things through. Just like the Shudo belt, if you wish to add a Safariland low ride, you can take the male portion of the belt buckle itself off and feed through the Safariland low ride or the G-code low rides. You can also use the G-code clips in order to weave it through the MOLLE attachments. This belt is compatible to all MOLLE systems. You can weave it through our pile systems. Our belt system is compatible to majority of the mag holders that you find on the market today. We have operational data from special operations units and law enforcement and agencies for the last 4 years utilizing these belts globally around the world. This belt has never failed on any one of our customers and is very effective on the battlefield.